for it. And I'm like, okay, I don't.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank y'all again for tuning in to one of the dopest indie podcasts on the planet. This is the Dope Session Podcast. Um, man, we got some guests with us on this episode. We got D-Nick, the microphone Misfit, and we got my boy Illy Al, aka Itsphyre. What's up, guys? How y'all doing, man?
What's going on, man?
So,
Feeling
man,
good.
That's what's up, man. Um, I got y'all on here because
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about and I know it's probably like late in the game, but I wanted to talk about
you kind of breaking up a little bit, Kelvin. You kind of breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit choppy. I know if it was me for a second. It's breaking up just a little bit. It kind of sounded muffled and computerized.
how about now?
Better. A lot.
That sounds better. Yeah.
Okay. So I got y'all on here because like I said, I know it's probably like all late in the game, but like I want to talk to you guys about something that connected you two together. I mean, we all connected because we all know each other, but like y'all did South by Southwest together, and I kind of want to know just from the beginning, like D Nick, your why were you in South by Southwest, and then Al, how you get connected with the Fitz and South by Southwest.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So, well, the microphone misfits have been performing, and I mean, we've been performing in Austin for a long time. It's one of our go-to spots, and probably more influential for our like station in our career was Nerdcore Days. Shout out to DJ Rockman and
Mm.
everybody in the Nerdcore Days family. Shubzilla, Bill Beats, um, Prowess, Mark Cooper, IQ, like all of our people. Grayson, there's so many. Lord Zan, you know, Peace King. You know what I'm saying? Your people's like that was the first time I did Nerdcore Days with all of them with the Otaku Underworld and all of that. So it's so many to name. So many to name. I feel like a asshole forget anybody, but I done already named Artemis, that's my hip hop Congress brother. And my
Well,
homegirl, my hip hop Congress rest, Anita T, you know, that's my sister, man. Love her, man. Um
so let
but
me ask
yeah,
you this. Let me
so Nerdcore Days, to answer your question, Nerdcore Days is how we like got connected and front a lot. Like invited us to do South by the official show,
okay.
so
I was just about to ask you to explain because like I know that you do the Nerdcore Day stuff, and I was just about to ask you to kind of just touch on how y'all actually got to do South by Southwest, but you did explain that chronologically.
well, front a lot. We were in a conversation. Grayson. I was talking to Grayson. I remember this. Grayson was not. He wasn't like bitching or anything. He was talking about him not getting picked to do South by because it is a selective type of thing, like the official South by Southwest show. So he was talking about that, and we were in a conversation, and I was like, man, it's all good, man. Like we get rejected for South by all the time, man. It's just probably reasons why, like I don't know, like they got a reason why they reject us, but it don't matter, but whatever their reason is, it's their thing. So I had this conversation, and I was just trying to be encouraging to Grayson as someone whose group would always get rejected.
Right.
And man, Frontalot, you know, big up to him. He overheard, and he was one of the talent buyers for South by,
Right.
in charge of the Nerdcore festival. And so he heard me having that conversation with Grayson, and he just really respected that. And he was like, "Hey man, I'm the one that does the booking for the Nerdcore days, you know, part of South by Southwest." And I was just like, "Oh, word." And he was like, "Man, we never picked the microphone Misfits because I think that it's I don't want to get him in trouble." But he was like, I'll say it this way. He was like, "I didn't think you guys would want to be there for that because it's not conducive for a group of your entity." And I know
So
what he means
basically,
because
y'all
we're a
just
group.
too damn good for South by Southwest.
No, no, we're a big group, and it's not so much of doing South by isn't really about the money because it doesn't pay that well. It's about the resources and all that type of stuff. And so for him, he thought that we were above it. And he was like, "But if you want to do it, man, just let me know. Like you're in." So we were actually unofficially booked like a year prior. It was at the last Nerdcore days.
Right. And front of line. Is he always at the Nerdcore Days thing, or was that particular year he was there?
That particular year, he's not always there.
Okay. So Al, man, from your point of view, how did you like get connected into the South by Southwest thing?
So, from my recollection now, D-Nick helped me out if I'm fuzzy because I know it was
Yeah.
like a long process. Just even with Sensu Bean. So we, me and D-Nick, I remember I told D-Nick a while ago. I was like, man, I had this beat. I don't really know what to do with it, and I was like, man, we can come up with stuff. So we, came up with Sensu Beans. Still love it, to this day. Uh, especially the remix. But um. And so I can't think we were talking about something. I don't know. I know we were just talking maybe conversations, but we ended up, I know you mentioned that you had said that you were going there. And I was like, hey, I don't know if we try to maybe, perform that or something. And there was like another festival, like it's like Beats and Beers that I was supposed to do last year, didn't get a chance to do. And it's in that like during that time span, like one of the little like near one of the venues that does it. And I was like, oh, okay, well I can go there. Like I'll probably be there. Like I'm gonna try to go it this year. I didn't do it, and then we were talking, and Dini was, we were like kind of, hey, we could that could work, and Dini kind of took it from there. It was like, all right, let's like made it happen. Like seriously,
Mhm.
No,
everything, all the boxes checked.
Al being humble. Al being humble. Here, I'm going no, cause actually I was been going through a lot of like personal like stuff, like really heavy personal stuff. I won't get into here, but been going through really personal heavy stuff, and that was our like because of what I was going through. I was nervous about going out of town and all of this type of stuff, and I just didn't have a reason to go, like, because I wouldn't able to, in my opinion, I wouldn't been able to really capitalize on it the way I wanted
Right.
to, because South by Southwest is two things. So going to I was going to talk to my group of like microphone misfit. Shout out to my brothers. I was going to talk to them about, man, maybe I should cancel. Maybe we can figure something out, or maybe y'all could go and I'll just not be. And then like what my heart went in it, and Sticks. And for those that don't, I call Al Sticks. Like he's Itsphyre, that's his name, but he's Milwaukee Sticks to me. You
Walking sticks.
know. But so Sticks was like, he was like, "No, man, that's a big thing, man. You got to do it." Da, 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 da. And he was like, "Man, I'll go with you. If you want to go, we can do sensu beans up there. You think that will fit?" and I was like, it would fit. And like for me, like man, like Al made me want to go. Like he was like just cause I'm all about like looking out and and whatever I got I'm sharing, and but it was equal. Like Al motivated me to even go, and so I was just like, all right, and it worked out. Wasn't there as long as I would have wanted to be there, but I don't even know if I needed to be there that long. So no complaint. You can't really cry about something you never had anyway. So it was cool. So that was how it happened. So Six motivated me to go because I was like, I don't know, and the Fits were really pleased of that. So I was like,
So I want to talk about the actual song just for a second, um, because it's on. If I'm not mistaken, it's on Midwest Gamer Mess, right?
mm-hmm.
So, um,
Yes.
so Al, I want to ask, like, what was the when you were writing
And the
for
remix is
Sensitive, like, what
on
was
is
did you have
on
a
volume
concept
6 of Escape
before
from Babylon.
you decided to go with what you went
Oh,
with,
that's what it
or
is. Six.
was
Wait,
what you wrote down and how you wanted the song the original conception of it?
yo, you there?
Kelvin? Kelvin. Kelvin.
I don't know what happened. Kel?
Hello in podcast land.
Yeah.
I will see. That's a cool thing about having two phones. You can check and see if he is
Or you get your Kevin Gates on. I got two phones, one for the.
there. Right?
Is it still on here? Or this Riverside FM? No, yeah, FM.
River City?
River City. No, it's not. No, it's River. What there the app is called? The Riverside or
What app?
the one he's using?
Oh. Riverside. Yeah, Riverside.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I was like, yeah, I thought you were being funny saying it's River City. I was like, wait, you're trying to show like, no, that's
So,
Yeah. So I want to ask uh both of y'all because y'all the song Sensitive Being. So I was saying for Al, like when you wrote that song, did you have a different conception or was the original uh verse and concept of the song always what it was?
no. I it was weird. That kind of like maybe a baseline, like a a base level kind of idea. Like okay, it's gonna be kind of this, like using because wanted to make it just have sort of a meaning and nod to like the Dragon Ball, but still like make it so it's not just super overly anime-ish and everything in that
Right.
regard. But it's like, no, just have that like, okay, since to me, everybody knows what that means. It was you like how what how do you take that like literally metaphorically like, how so I just that was the kind of the idea of it, but it wasn't just like all set, especially the way it plays out, the way like me and D Nick, the way we do our verses are just it fits and it's just like that was not I don't think that was planned. If it just
I mean, what it was what you told me. You was like, "Hey man, I got this song." Like Al came up with the title, and he was like, "Man, I got this song, Sensu Beans." And the initial concept was like, "Man, it's gonna be about us like battling and overcoming adversity." And when he said, I was
yeah.
like, Sensu Beans, that's the Dragon Ball Z thing, right? Ain't that when they get messed up and they gotta take that to give them? That's like they spinach to
Mhm.
they Popeye and stuff. And Sticks was like, yeah. And then, my crazy brain, I was like, yo, your mother got multiple sclerosis. And I got multiple
Yep.
sclerosis.
Yep.
We should do a
Mm.
song about multiple sclerosis. And how we wish we could, like, our people sense of beings. Like, you could talk about going through it, like watching your loved ones go through it. And I could talk about going through it. And so I was like, my brain was working. And it was like, yeah. And then Sticks was like, because it was his song. I was a feature. It was his song,
Hmm.
and then he came to me and was like, "Hey man, how you feel about sharing it?" And I'm like, what you mean? He was like, "Well, you're kind of out there in that world a lot more, so let's share it. It will get more traction because if we share it." And I was like, "All right, yeah, we'll put it on our projects, and then if you releasing something, you can put on your project. Well, yeah, we'll share it." So that's what we did, and I was like, "Oh man, I, I want to do artwork for every one of these songs and all of this type of stuff." So like I got Damon, shout out to Damon Hampton. Like we did the poster, like so Sticks is in the poster and all this type of
Yeah.
stuff. Like it's a
Yeah. It's
fire
dope.
poster. So yeah, it was a fire poster.
See, I told you his memory's gonna be better than mine. I was like, I just remember we did it. I just remember I was like, you had like said the beat. I had it, and I was like, I have no. I want to use it, but I have no idea. It has not hit me how to use it like at
Right.
all. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. It's just not. Something's there. I just don't know what. Yeah, it's like one of those.
Right. So like, so you had this song, like you said, "Since the Venue," which is like you talk about uh, your mom having multiple sclerosis, and then you talking about you yourself having multiple sclerosis. It's like from that, and then like going to like, so like you said, sharing the song, and then going to say, hey, let's perform this together. Like, was there any like nervousness or anything just going out there to perform a song? And I can talk from, yeah, I want to hear from you, Al, because it's like, like, was it just like, holy shit, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do this shit right now, live in front of everybody.
Oh, it's one of the weird things. Like I it was like so my son he's very much like my personality. And I was like eighth grade, like but he's like like way before that. So and where I'm more like I wasn't so much like I get stuck. Like only thing that would bother me as far as just like performance is like if my family is there. Because I figure if I mess up, like I gotta hear that shit forever. Like your friend, you might, that's the worst thing. The people you're gonna see them Thanksgiving, they're gonna let you. Hey man, remember that time? So
Right.
that always makes me nervous. So that's how they were like talking for somebody like, no, it's cool. I know, it, it, it was. I was a little bit nervous, but mainly because I was like, man, I want D Nick. Like, man, we didn't brought like the whole group be like, man, I thought this dude was cool. Man, we didn't brought him out. Yeah, like so I mean, so that was where that came in. 'Cause I'm just like, man, they all polished there, like this stuff. I'm just like, okay, make sure I stay. I'm like still walking back, like the whole time before we went out, I kept leaving because I'm like making sure. Okay, I'll just go through your verse again. You got it, but just making sure. Okay, no, just go through. Like I just kept walking, but cause I was like, man, I just don't want them to be like, man, yeah, man. So damn, you just messed it up that bad, Al. Yeah, man. I just went on there and then the feedback came on. I was just like, no. So it was that's where that came from. But usually not so much. Like once I'm on stage, I'm cool. But I was like, man, I ain't trying to mess it up, man. They gonna be thinking like we can't,
Right.
bring this guy nowhere.
So when
I wasn't nervous. I wasn't nervous, but it's a really, really slow song.
right.
It's a really slow song. And,
And that's not really our
microphones.
forte.
yeah, like
Especially when it's happening a
we're
lot of sudden.
always we're always punching it up, and it's really fast. It's even faster, you know. Like we record faster songs, but then Mel punches it up faster, and so so and you know it's you know because I really went in like Al is rhyming about watching loved ones go through MS, and I'm rapping about going through it, and I was very vivid in my verse, and my crew don't really, you know, man, my brothers, they're not fans of the song. They're like, they don't, for, you know, one, it's slower, but two, it just, they don't like it. It's kind of like, man, we already see these health, you know, declining. Now we gotta hear this in our music. This gotta be in our music.
Right.
We gotta hear, you know, like pain, fatigue, vision loss, impaired coordination, condition is forever, no final destination. Man, they was like, it's like, man, this is slow. And it's like, this is slow. And like, you're talking about your body deteriorating. Like, they're just not fans of it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know, but they're supportive. They're like, man, I get it. I get it. Like Mel is probably that's why I'm laughing because Mel is probably the most vocal like about it. Like he was like, 'cause he'll just be like, man, I understand the purpose of the song. I understand like you know why it's necessary and why it's needed. I understand people who like it, but you know, Mel's like, I don't like that shit. It's like,
I think he said it a couple of times while we were there. If I'm not mistaken. I heard at least 2 or 3 times when we were in Austin, him saying that, like, I don't
Damn, Al,
like
it's like it's kind of like you went through a weird ass initiation during this whole
yeah.
process.
and we did the original. I was digging. I should have just hit up K Murdoch. But he's so busy. Shout out to K Murdoch because K Murdoch did the remix. You know, and I from Panacea and you know, like and with Mega Ran Forever Famicom. So Murdoch, shout out to Murdoch. But and I was like, man, you know, the fellas like the remix, but I could not find the instrumental of the remix.
um,
So we did the
Okay.
original, you know, and then we did have but Sticks killed it. Sticks nailed it. But we did have a little, we did have a little hiccup.
You know what, and that was gonna be my that was gonna act my leading to this because I was just like, because I did hear good things, and I was like, and when I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. And then I heard about the music styles and everything like that, and I want you to I want you to talk about that specifically, and then also like, was there something that you learned from that particular moment?
okay. This, I mean, and it was, I don't know. It was one of those things like I just didn't, obviously, I don't think a lot of us expected it, maybe, but uh, I guess like it was. I know what I learned from. I'm just trying to think like just at that moment there was a lot going on, and then I was just like, because it was like weird. It's like I was like I just didn't expect. I'm like, dang, like going like, and then I was trying to make sure I wasn't going off beat. So it's like you're trying to do. It's like that whatever the meme is, lady, and it's like all those equations in front of her, and she's like trying to parse which ones. You know, like okay, this okay that. So it did feel like that. Um, and then, definitely D Nick was like, man, come on, let's just finish this. Like, let's do it. Let's still finish. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me get back on track. I'm not trying to do this stuff. And it's like the light, it's just, that's all bright. Everybody sees me and stuff. But what I did learn again, shout out to you, D Nick, on that, is that you still just gotta like adjust and just go right back to it. There's, they always say like, oh, you got to be, chess thinker, not a checkers thinker. Like, no, sometimes you have to be the checkers thinker. Like, you got what's happening right now. How do I react? How do I do this? So it kind of made me just realize like you have to be able to adjust to the situation even quicker than you might be ready to do. So that I was serious because I was like, oh yeah, but I'll say just that's just the main thing I learned, and also that not so much learned it, but like music and just being around certain folks, like, you get different stuff. Like I literally the video like Megaran was like recording the performance. And I just remember being able to like DM him like, hey man, can you send me the thing? I just when it's stuff went out. He's like, yeah, here you go. He sent me all the videos, and I was like yeah, it's like it was just like some cool stuff like that. I was like, oh yeah, cool. He was like, yeah, thanks man. It's like yeah, no problem. Like it's so it was just that I told D Nick after we came back, so I told him like man, it just felt like real like I didn't see like a lot of ego maybe, but I didn't see it. It was like everybody just seemed kind of like real cool, and just it didn't seem like oh you can't talk to him like everybody was approachable. It was a real good vibe. So I think like just after the initial like it happening, I was like oh man okay you just got to make sure I just stay
That's
with
how
it, make sure that, performance can't really drop all that stuff. But it was just that was a little add on
that's
I'll
how
say
it
after that.
worked
So
out.
yeah.
They was just like,
Yeah, it was.
they came up to you to start freaking the DJ from there, hey, man, and they came up to Alan, hey man, hey man,
That was a really, and honestly, that hit because it wasn't that we did anything. It wasn't like Mel did anything like wrong. Because we were on like the house turntables. We were on DJ Rockman again. Shout out to DJ Rockman. He he was, he had, and it's the same rig that we use. And he was cool. So we just switched over. Mel was on his decks. It just the sound blew. We literally blew the sound, and I heard a glitch because shout out to Hari up front. Like Hari went on right with us, like because we only one we used to doing like 35 to 45 minute set, sometimes even an hour, but no less than 30. This was like a 25-minute set, so we had to really cram things in. So like it was real synchronized and all of that type of stuff. Like I remember Hari because came up and featured us. So all our features were together. Hari came up, ran up, like his beat came on, and then Hari just run him. He got a long intro, so when his beat came on, I introduced him, and then he just starts rapping. You know what I'm saying? And then we go into Sensory Bit, which is slower and all of that stuff. And Al got through his verse and got through his verse. And when it came back for the chorus, that's when everything just
right.
went boom. Like the whole thing just went boom. And it's like, oh snap. Like the powers is gone. But it glitched a
Oh,
little bit during the song with Hari. And I remember it. I remember hearing it. It was just for a second, but you can hear it when you're on stage. And then it went back. And so everything was cool. And then we rocked. And that was a memorable moment for the entire thing, because we didn't stop. Like, you know, Al got through his verse, and then like it just went out when the chorus came back in. So did the chorus a cappella, the fits start clapping, making beat, like with their hands, and then, you know, we kind of broke in our set, like so they were checking with Mel, and it's like he's like, yo man, the system is out, man. Just do what we do. And so I was like, okay, so they were clapping. I was rhyming like to they beat, did acapella, did like two acapellas, and and then stuff booted up. And we're gonna rush to our finale, but Frontalot was like, no, finish out your full set. Do your full set. Like shout out to Front. So we actually got
okay.
longer time than the 25 minutes. Like you know, like, cause, and everybody was just, talking about like, you know, they were like, yo, man, they just didn't stop. and they didn't bitch about it. And everybody was just dapping us up. And it was like, man, they didn't bitch about the sound. They just kept it going. And then they came back. They didn't lose their energy. And people were complimenting us. And Anita, shout out to my girl Anita T. She was like, of course, they professional. That's Hip Hop Congress. She was like, she from Cleveland, so she was like, of course, that's Hip Hop Congress. That's A1, my A1 from day one. That's Hip Hop Congress and all this stuff. So
Right.
it was, so it
And
was cool. It was a good moment.
Uh, I
Mega
heard
Man.
Al was representing because Al had
Mhm.
the he had the microphone Misfitz shirt on, so he was like he was part of the group.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Mega freestyle about Al because he was like, man, I know the guy. I don't know him. It's like, and the last show we had did with Mega, like he had never met Drops. Drops was
Mm,
there filling in
mm,
for Defects. It was when the show we did out here, Kelvin with Murs. And so Defects couldn't make it. He was in a workout battle. So Drops like filled in and you know and so the last two shows we had did with Mega, he was like, man, like this new microphone Misfits. They keep and so when he was freestyling in the big finale freestyle, he was freestyling and he was freestyling about us. Like Mega's an incredible freestyler. And he was just he was rapping about Al. And he was like, microphone Misfits keep adding members and all of this.
yeah, I remember that.
Like, and,
Yeah.
so it was cool. And I got to rhyme with him and Shadow, you know, from London. That was
right.
cool. Like Shadow was, he wanna have a chop off in London. I was like,
I remember you saying that. Yeah. Oh, side note, can I throw a shout out? The Hari though was like one of the first people after all the stuff that came up to me, like dapped me up and was like, "Hey man, good." Like was like really congratulating me. I was like that was cool because I had literally like you said he went off and then we went to something like it was like yeah that was like that much interaction. I was like, man, he the first was like, hey man,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, appreciate it. So yeah, that was
yeah.
yeah, it was good energy
Well,
there, man. That was good
we're,
energy.
they're a supportive community, like because we're all very niche. It's a very niche demographic. So like that community of artists, like everybody, got their egos and stuff
Mm.
like that, but they're very supportive, because we're at South by. We have our own showcase at South by Southwest, so it's tricky, you're with competing for attention and all of this type of stuff, and Mega's like he's like him and Xiao I say both of them. They're like the big stars of that. Lars and you know MC Chris punk ass, and like those Frontalot and Schaefer. Those are the big stars. You know what I'm saying, of that genre. So like you said, it is cool that most of them are really, really cool. Um, Mega's dope with that. Shaldo is dope too, man. He's huge. He's an international, like huge nerdcore artist and anime artist. So yeah, man. They're very generally they're
No,
very
that's super
it's a
dope. I'm
very
glad that they
communal community.
came up to just like gave him some encouragement and all that stuff too, man. Um, so Al is Al and D Nick, do you think? Because from your perspective, D Nick, I mean, you've gone to Austin because you were doing Nerdcore days, and now you're doing South by Southwest. For you as
Mhm.
well, Al, like, do you? Do you see yourself like
Mhm.
wanting to go back and maybe from both of y'all perspectives, go not only go back to it and be able to perform again at South by Southwest, but also like kind of be involved in a good amount of everything that goes on within that festival.
I'll go
Uh, I would say I was saying yeah, just because it you know, kind of like testing the waters, I guess would be the first, going there initially. Like I actually lived in Dallas for a little bit and, had been to parts of Texas, but I had never been to Austin, and always was talking about going, like, at least being around South by Southwest. So I think just from like I said, the energy aside from everything, just the kind of networking and just, you get a lot of, I say a lot of good comes out of it. Like it's a very good place to network, to actually just build relationships, maybe just learn a lot too. So I think that's the overall value wise. I think that, and I was just kind of just going, doing performance, but maybe even going a different type, like for different stuff, because it's like it's multifaceted. It's not just one sort of like area, especially even creative, educational, all that stuff. So I would say that yeah, definitely just to go back, probably maybe stay like another day or something else, and then kind of move just how I think like okay, I want to like maybe more pinpoint than more than less observing, because before we kind of observing like okay, let's see how this goes and this, but I think going back would be more okay, I don't want this, I want to go here, do this, and kind of more curate the experience, so to speak. But yeah, I would say yes, and
Yeah,
perform again.
yeah, like on both ends of that question. Like one, we got a really, really, nice base out there, like a decent, not like, it's just a nice niche base out there. Um and man, just I know too many, and I've collaborated with a lot of good artists in that general area. Like Gross Angel he's San Antonio, but like it ain't nothing to just go to Austin. Like I mean, we just did a show with Gross Angel in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? So like yeah, like there's and then Anita, who's Hip Hop Congress, like top person in Hip Hop Congress and like one of the directors in Hip Hop Congress, and she's like with Wu Tang Radio, you know what I'm saying, and manages one not one of the not Wu affiliates, but yeah, one of the Wu affiliates, one of the Sons of Man, I believe is 60 Second Assassin. Um, it might be Killer Priest, I'm not sure on that, but I know it's one of the Sons of Man. And so you got a lot of people there, as well as it is it is a good thing to network. Like I did the industry stuff in the morning, like got up early and like jumped in. And I know Styx was collaborating with some people in the what was that app that the lady that
Oh,
asked.
stage vest with a V, like
Yeah,
V is a
yeah,
victory,
like
stage vest.
that was like, so it's just, there's resources there. Like I've you meet people like I met Deja Vu, and next thing I know, she is like being shouted out on the Breakfast Club and all this type of stuff, and I'm like, and she's like, shout out to her, really fire Memphis sister, you know what I'm saying? With her moniker, the holistic hood bitch, she's fire, and so I wouldn't have met her like if we hadn't gone. And you get to do things like that, meet like these these high ranking people and you can network with them. You know, like even getting to kick it with Shaldo. Like I met him in DC, but this was like the first time we got to really, you know, chop it up and kind of talk. And and the double toasted like cats, like, you know, they came to the show, and you know that was super dope, like because I got to introduce, you know, him to Megaran. I did not know that
Mhm.
he was a, a fan of our stuff, you know, and, you know, he, you know, because it was talking to IQ, and IQ was like, oh, let's double toast it. So he was over there talking to him, and dude recognized me, you know, but he didn't even know it was me at first. He was like, man, I like that hoodie. He's like, man, where you get that? I was like, oh, it's my performance uniform. I was like, oh, you one of the microphone misfits. And,
Right.
you know, I'm like, dude, I watch Double Toasted all the time. And you know who the fuck I am. Like, I was like, hey, you know who the fuck I am? He's like, yeah, man, we've done stuff together, right? I was like, no, we've been on the same marquees. You were at C2E2 one year, we were performing, so, but you know, like to introduce this dude on a high ranking
Okay.
platform, and I didn't know that they go back with K Murdoch, you know, you know, and it shrinks the world. Like here,
Hmm.
like I'm introducing these dudes that like totally got a bigger status than me, and they have the
Right.
connection. Like, but it comes full
Yeah,
circle because K
that's
Murdoch did a remix for me and
definitely,
Sticks.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Or the Fits and
I would
Sticks.
say, so I want to ask, like, if there's like maybe one or two like very memorable stories that you and Al have. This is what would those stories be?
Well,
Huh. Go ahead. I don't know. Go ahead, D Nick. I'm like, huh.
no, because it was as short of a time as we were there. It was kind of an adventure, you know. To
Uh, yeah. Oh, okay. No, you're right. Okay, I'm gonna say we were supposed to go. You know
oh
I'm going with this D Nick.
yeah,
So we
I
were
know.
supposed to go to yeah, the break in. That was supposed to be the break
Yeah,
in event, right?
yeah,
Yeah. We go to a break in event. So we call call like an Uber or Lyft. 'Cause I remember Mel was with us, so it was me, you, and Defects, correct?
yeah. Because Mel was gonna go
Yeah,
check something out. With like, because there's a lot going on the admin
yeah,
side of South by. So yeah,
yeah. 'Cause he got on one of the birds or one of the scooters. I remember 'cause we were gonna get on him. He was like, no. So we go, and Kelvy, we were going to the place, and we get there, and it just looks like like a Cali kind of part. Like it looked like an apartment, but it doesn't look like it was like a regular apartment. Almost like it was something else. And they just turned it into an apartment, so it probably like some weird office space. And so, uh, do you, do you need? It's like, you ask a guy like, what? Like, hey, is this spot? And he's like, yeah. And then like, it's like, no, I was gonna say that. And then the dude just was like, yeah, no English, just stopped. Cold turkey. That's it. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, so I'll let D Nick, I'll let you take it from there. But that's
that was So yeah, we were going to this breaking event, and like it, you know, but the spot was the address that we had was not it had moved. So we go, and it's like
mm,
some living home, and so shout out to DJ Corrupt. So like like we're invited there because like like I said, like it's about meeting people, and so you're at this speed,
Okay.
like it was almost speed dating with industry people, and and so that like no, and like and I didn't sign up for it before, and this is long story long, but it's all part of it. Even connecting back to the South by thing, there was a brother at the Nerdcore days who was like, yo, you should come in, like get up early and go. Like, there's people that oversleep and they don't come. So you should go. And you can get their spots. So that's how we got to it. DJ Corrupt, I got to have a one-on-one with DJ Corrupt. And we connected and exchanged numbers because he really liked our get down. So he was like, yo, man, there's a breaking event, da 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 da. So that's where it was like, yo, want to go. After we do all the things, it was like, man, I gotta go. DJ Corrupt just invited us, and then the place, we look up the address and we go there, and it wasn't that spot. That spot had been moved. It's like a housing facility or something, and that lady was so like scared as me, Defects, and Al walked in there. She was kind of she was kind of looking at us like, who are these hooligans walking? And yeah, and I was like, dang. And the Uber driver was so dismissive and bogus, and he was really
Right.
leading into the like, I don't speak English and I don't want to help them out. And so he was leading into that. And then so we leave, we get
I ain't
another
gonna lie,
Uber.
man.
And it's the
I ain't gonna
same
lie, man.
dude.
That was
It's the
one of the
same dude
stories
that
I wanted
picked us up.
to tell because, like, Al
And
told
so
me the Al told me the story, and I just got a kick off the fact that the the second Uber y'all got is the same guy.
then we get dropped off at this spot, and at the second spot, but it don't look like it's that or something. But it's like in this weird lumber yard, and they be breaking events in weird places. So we kind of looking around, and it's like, dang man, da 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 da. And so we order a Uber again, and it's the same dude. Like, and this time, like he's being short with us, but he's like, I don't know, and all this. And so I'm like, hey, Defects, can you talk to this dude? Because we got a Spanish speaker with us. And so when Defects start talking to him
Right.
in Spanish, he kind of looks like, what the fuck? Because, he thinking Defects a regular black dude. Nope, he Cuban. He can, he can speak Spanish. And so,
Man, the look I looked at defects like I was like, wait, what?
Right.
yeah, he was tight. He was like, fuck, I can't, I can't Spanish them to death and act like I don't know. So, shout out to Defects, man. That was wild, man. It was so that was cool. Like, that was that, and the obviously the sound going out was those are two big memorable things. It was cool kicking it. For me it was because I was excited to introduce Al and Anita, and so like I was like, I was like, oh man, like, y'all from Cleveland, and and Al was like, what part of Cleveland you from? And she was just like, excuse me, it's supposed to be hello, and then they start hitting it. I was like, dang. And then, cause I know, like, it's my girl. I know her, but I
Uh-huh.
never seen her get sassy, and I was like, dang,
Uh-huh.
she gets sassy like Mojo gets sassy. That's a Cleveland thing. That's a total Cleveland thing. Like, it's just something in the rhythm of how, everybody got the women that get sassy with them and all that, but there's a rhythm that is
Mm.
unique to Cleveland, and I was like, oh, I know that. I know that sass. Mojo giving me that sass plenty of time. That's a Cleveland sass. And so they had their little thing like back and forth and all of this stuff. And then Al is like a quagmire in his origin of where he's from. So so she was like, okay, no, they cool. Like, they were cool,
Yeah.
man, and it was dope, man. It was a really dope thing, and like I said, I was having a really rough time just in life, so it was really cool to go for me to just go and be around people that just respect and love what you do and all of this type of stuff and our whole decorum and I don't have regrets much, but I do wish I had the picture
Oh,
of Solo, Defects, and Sticks doing the Spider-Man thing where they was
that's
pointing
dope.
at each other because they all had the same shirt. They
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
they
We
all
all
had
the
the
red
same
on. Yeah.
shirt. Yeah,
Yeah. That would have
so
been dope.
it was cool, man. It was real cool, and just like the networking, man, like and the business stuff, and it was, and even like I remember before going, I remember talking to you, Kelby,
Right.
about like,
Yeah, yeah,
dang,
you
man,
told me
we got invited to the Steven Spielberg brunch, and we can't even go. You know what I'm saying? But just just to get invited was just really cool, and like this is what it is and this is how
that.
this stuff goes, and like I see the benefit in it, and it's just being in the room to just talk to these people and all of that stuff, you know and just being with the brotherhood, man, just like letting like the Misfits, just being with my brothers on the road again, like flying out, and and then just introducing Al to. I mean, we all met. Al met like my bandmates before because we all met in Vegas, but we
Maybe.
did, yeah. But just it's different when you're like, okay, we're together. We're not from here, so oh, you with us? Okay, cool. We gotta protect. Everybody's got to be. We got to
Man,
protect each other. We on our Nelly stuff. We Dirty DNT. We all we got. Like, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Because you're a foreigner in their land, so
Mm-hmm.
you gotta be protected. Shout out to Hari and
right.
Frivolous Shar and
Nah, man, I
everybody,
did that.
man. Lord Zan, everybody was cool.
Yeah.
Prowess.
Yeah,
Who's your
probably.
favorite? Who's
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
favorite act? Like Al, who'd you like?
Yeah.
Who was your
Oh,
favorite?
it's prowess. I told you like I was
Prowess
legit.
is dope.
She when I was
Prowess
like,
is super
yo, like yeah, that was it's prowess, hands down. That yeah, yeah. So I was like, yeah.
dope.
Yeah, that.
So I want to
A few times I'm instantly like, yo,
say
I
this
fuck with
real
this. Like it
quick,
was like, oh shit, yeah,
and
like
then kind of give a
instantly.
little
So yeah,
backstory
prowess.
for our audience. Um, well, this is how we know me and Dean. This is how we know Al. So Al, we met during, and we met uh, the questions game and stuff that we would do all on Zoom and stuff with everybody. And like that's just kind of the short end of it. We all became just like real cool,
Yeah,
you know. Y'all just the fact that you guys, got to work on a song together and perform that song, and then also me and Arrow are working on the song together. And we've been saying like, hey man, let's work on some stuff, let's work on some music, and like just and I understand time and what you like and all this other stuff. So like. but we get to finally like work on the song, man. So it's just, I just love the how that connection is just like it's just blossoming into something like I mean, it's already blossomed into something like super dope, but just seeing it blossom some more into like just some like super dope other stuff as well, man. And man, I'm just so happy that you got out there to do your thing, man. I'm glad that you received the love that you got out there, man. People had their back. Um, um, Other than like the song that we're doing together, are you working on like a album or EP or like what's really like next musically for you?
I appreciate that. Uh, at the moment, I'm still trying to finish. Like I said, it's a two-sided project. So the Sensible Beans project, that's pretty much mapped out. I might add another song to it, but that's like going to be the one kind of more like anime focused, and there's another one that's kind of just regular, more so with I'd say more so just like just a regular, straightforward sort of like hip hop journey that I'm doing and stuff. So it'll be two different ones. So the one is essaying, and the other one is Bliss. So Bliss will be more of the regular one, and uh the one like that's gonna be themed more so just like how Sensu Beans was, and then we have like the next single will probably be Launch.
Okay.
Is gonna be more
And
Dragon
also
Ball
for with
anime-ish
D Nick, for those that don't
market. So
know,
yeah, so it'll be
so I,
essaying
I
and then
dropped an
Bliss.
album called The Wait, and
Yeah.
yeah, is a producer of the title track. All the other tracks on the album is produced by my nephew Sage. So shout out to him. Uh, man, I always tell the story because the story is funny. It's like me and D Nick. Every time I
To say.
like have D Nick listen to one of my songs, it's he like D Nick gives me the truth whether I want to hear it or not. And stuff. It's right. So I always tell him how this is
That's a D Nick staple.
But
right.
back to Sticks. Look where I come from. Sticks.
So
Look where I
as
come
many
from.
times as
Look at my crew.
as
They
many
they
times as
don't they
I've
don't mince
like
words at
played D
all.
Nick
Like,
songs, like he'll say,
That's
"Okay,
facts.
I think
That's
this is
fair.
cool. I
That's
like this
facts.
one,"
That's fair. Yep.
or he was like, "Man, should we write this or do this or this?" And so and so this is the first time I played him a song where he was kind of quiet for a little bit, and then all of a sudden he was just like, "Man, just send me the stems. Just send me the stems." This is- I was like, "Whoa, this is the first time he's ever said send me the stems." But I just want you to touch on that, D Nick, and I just like on because I've told you this personally, and so I can, since I always tell you personally, I just tell you to the world that like, hey man, thank you for like being involved in that track in that song. So D Nick, aka man, send me them stems. Let's discuss that part.
man. Thank you for being open to. Because a lot of people don't like to take, constructive criticism, and I sometimes can be brash and harsh, admittedly, and and there's better ways to sometimes to say this stuff. So I try to atone for the harshness, but like it's my intention is always to be constructive, and
Hmm.
it I would it was because it was so annoyingly close. You weren't there, but it was close and it annoyed me. and I was like, man, I gotta help him get close because it's a really important song and a really good, just a really good record, and and like after producing it, I was able to, you allowed me to sequence majority of the project. So like, producing one record and and I just want to make people look good. I want to add to it. So like I didn't produce any other records, Sage like did his thing with those. But like in sequencing, it's like, man, this will sound good here. This is a good lead off to here. This is a good lead off to that one. This is a good close. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff. But
Right.
no, man, it was you were so annoyingly close. And you listened, man. Kelly
Yeah.
had to rewrite that shit 3 times. And we bumped it. I let them hear it. I was like, I let like when we were in that long crazy Uber ride, like, it was like, yo man, I want to hear and defects, like everybody in the microphone misfits. Defects is a tough critic, you know. And he was just like, "Wait, it's about what?" And defects is for the listeners that don't know. He's He's a health guru. He's a health nut. Like so, he's all about fitness and health and keeping yourself in shape. And so he was just like and positivity. So he was like, "Man, it's about what?" It's like it's about challenging like obesity and all of this type of stuff. And he was like, "Man, I don't know, Stockman. You know, it better be good. I'll tell you if it's bad." I was like, please, come on, man. And so,
Yeah.
like, so, we were listening, and Al was like, yo, man, Kelvy really went there. I was like, yes, he did. And he was like, man, he's super vulnerable. This is dope. And defects are just like, good
Right.
job, Stockman. Like,
Right.
so no, man, shout out to you, man. Like a lot of people, like,
Right.
cause don't nobody, listeners
And
don't care how you got there. They just care when it's there.
and no
So
man,
it's like,
man,
man, no,
thank you, man.
like,
And
so you got to rewrite it
man,
three
like
times. You
yeah,
got
this
to,
this was like
you didn't buckle, man.
it
So
was
shout out to you,
challenging
man.
because it's like you putting your heart and your soul into something like this because it's a subject that I've never like because I've never like talked about because I was just like I mean you see me in real life what I look like. Why do I need to kind of talk about it? But like I felt like maybe I should talk about it. And I know, most people don't like these fat rats. So it's like, so, so when, right. And honestly, man, every time
I was pushing for
you
you to
told me
talk
to,
about
to
this, and then
rewrite
you
it,
finally did.
I
That's why
kept
I was like, man, you're
thinking,
so
like,
close.
I
No,
kept thinking
nope,
what
nope.
you always tell me. Matter of fact, we even had a conversation the night before or something like that, and you've always said to me, in your own words, pussies don't deserve to do this. And so I ain't trying to be no pussy, but like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, and, but you always said, man, pussies don't deserve to do this. And so I'm just like, okay, like, but no, it was a good push because it's like I have a thing of like I want to be vulnerable, but I don't want to be too vulnerable. And but you kept pushing me like for the people that don't know, D Nick and D Nick said like D Nick has told me for like a couple years so far that I should do a song like this. And I was just like, yeah, nah, I'm not doing that shit. But like, but since I did, and he was just like, man, just send me them stems. It was just like it, and this is what they don't know. I didn't send him the stems right away. I didn't send him the stems right away because in my mind I was like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? I was like, these niggas gonna do have me do this, he
No.
gonna, I don't, And again,
Oh,
I'm
for
just
real?
gonna keep hearing, man, pussies don't deserve to do this. I just keep hearing this. I'm gonna keep hearing this in my head, but not. He really pushed me to get to the point, and I just like the fact that like a lot of people really did respond to the song like well, like people reached out to me or called me or just like send me stuff on Instagram and just like, man, like I really like not only just that one particular song, but I really like this album. And and that's the other thing that D-Nick mentioned that not only did he produce that one song, but he did like help me sequence, that album. And I just want to thank you for that. Thank you for pushing me. Thank you for not letting me, pussy out on that song. So,
I mean, it's reciprocal. Like, and like even going back to Sensu Beans, like, when Al was like, like, let's do this, and I was like, yo, what do we do this? And it's like, oh man, let's let it all. Well, for me, I was like, Al was more
so he gave me the
reserved
pussy don't
about
deserve to
his. He
do this
was he
speech
was
too,
kind of floating with this, like, it's painstaking. Say he was just
huh?
very. He was floating with
Oh,
it.
you
You
didn't
know what
you
I'm
didn't do that
saying?
for
Like,
Al? Oh man, Al, you're lucky.
no, I gave it to myself. I'm like, man, I'm going hard. Well, I was talking because we was in the song. We was doing it, and like did I think I did my verse first, right, Al? Or did you do yours first?
No, I think you did yours first. I think you did. And I think I was trying to contrast it to an extent. I think maybe subconsciously, but I think you did yours first.
Yeah,
Because I remember like lyrics like the chorus, was like it was like I said, it was just there, but I couldn't like close it. So I think you did yours first, and that kind of helped motivate me to be like, all right, okay, I can let me
and it
come
was
at it from
and it
this
was
way and still.
yours like balanced it because yours was more smoother. Where I'm like
Mhm.
like bowel bladder issue, weakness, movement,
Yeah,
your limbs, difficulty with speech. No one knows from where this stems.
yeah,
And all. I'm just talking about like all of the stuff like condition is forever, no final destination. I'm just
mm,
going like about like very specific, very direct of like
mm,
nope. You have issues with this. You can't move this. You can't. I was just very.
yeah.
Right.
Just
And so
no, very direct. Like yeah,
it was a balance.
yeah.
So like so pussies don't get to do this. So I had to live my raps. So I and then but even still, like, even when we had that malfunction, that is kind of a thing that I think about, that I know is like, man, don't nobody don't nobody care. Like, they're paying with they done paid to get in. They're paying with their time. So it's like, man, you better give them something, even if you better give them an experience of something where even if like the sound blue, what are you gonna do? Are you going to like whine and cry about it? You can't. Like, people just pay with their time and their energy. They're giving it to you. So you better show and prove. So it's like, all right, well, what we got in the tuck? Okay, let me rhyme here. All right, fellas, they know what to do. Like, they would have started breaking if like, if it was that, I would have had to. Me and Ray might have had to start beatboxing, and then Defects and Solo would have. got down on the floor and all of this type of stuff. It's just the thing. Like we we gotta keep it going, man. And you know we're there with like all of our colleagues too, so they're watching as well as like people are there. So some of them are bigger than us, some of them are less than us. You don't know what's going to happen. You know, some people might reach out and be like, yo man, like how do you snap into that and all of this stuff? Like people hit me up about it like, yo man, that was incredible. Like, and I'm like, what song? It was like, no, when the sound blew and y'all kept going. I'm like, that was for many people of all the songs we did, that was the most memorable like part for some people in that you know that 35-minute set,
Right.
you know. And I'm thinking about the songs we did. Like, I mean, I got invited to the Double Toasted Live, because of that. Like, that dude bought a bunch of comic books, like I had the longest interview with C Greasy. Shout out to C Greasy. And that was all because of all of that stuff. So it's like, man, like the song says, problems are opportunities, so
Man,
you better embrace it.
man, shout out to to
Because
my brother D Nick,
pussies don't get
and
to
shout
do
out to
this.
Al as well. Two of my brothers I love dearly, man. And if y'all have some shout outs, I'll go do your shout outs, man.
Ooh, shout out to the questions crew. Like
That part.
Blue, Avery, Sparks, you know, to the Mike Stidham that brought us all together, Mojo, KB, Kelvy, rest in peace to Tree, so like the whole questions crew and Dope Sessions podcast. Shout out to Hip Hop Congress, Anita, Rockman, Ramen Jamal Rockman, DJ Rockman from Nerdcore days, and Prowess, Hurry Up Front, Lord Zan, Mark Cooper, uh, IQ, Front a lot. Yeah, man, there's just so many other people. Of course, the microphone misfits, Jet, Defects, Ken Solo, Mel L, Ray Light, Defects, Drops, like the whole Baby Roro, the whole family. Shout out to you, Kelvy. And my daughter, Junior Dominique Q Stockman II, she Nick, you know.
Oh damn! See, dude, you took like all this stuff. Like, so now I have to gotta curate more. I'm like, all right, got it right. No, yeah, just like I said, DM, give you a shout out, man. Seriously, man, just
You
let me
too,
go on this journey and everything.
can't forget you, man.
Nah, bro, like seriously, because I was like, man, you could have just been like, nah, man, we're gonna just do like, this, so that, like, not saying you put up, but I'm saying it's always been real. It's never, like, just a side note, I knew kind of there was gonna be something there also too when I like telling you to beat, and you was like, yeah, I don't really like. You could have like, I don't really want to rap with that. It's like so. But I was like, he not the one to be like, yeah, I'll just do it just for charity, just because. Like, no, I was just like, man, I really felt like I was like, no, I was like, he's like, all right, we can rock this. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm hearing something too. So I just want to say shout out to because I was like, man, like, man,
Maybe
whatever, Al,
you,
just
man.
no,
I wouldn't have gone if you didn't push me to go. I was like, oh man, this is an opportunity for Sticks to, at the very least, to see what it's like, because we don't always get an opportunity to do that. Like, if I can help
yeah,
people skip
yeah,
the line, I'm gonna help people skip the line. It took me years to get to do South by Southwest. So if I could be a conduit for you to just jump in, man, hell yeah, let's do it, man. That's something on your resume. You got that badge for life. Like, man, I
yeah,
was there.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. No, seriously, I was like, man, that's just dope. Like, I was like, this is like, yeah, it, yeah. So So yeah, no, seriously, like I said, but like I said, all the people you said, like I said, but I even say like front lines, like just I thought he did pretty good. I would say Mega Ran again, just because like he did
Mega.
not have to. Yeah, he like just was cool, and just the fact was like, man, hey, can you send me this? Yeah, I got you, man. Just you know, and like it was just like I said, just I just loved it. The feel was everything. Again, like I said, the Questers crew, our squad and everything. And also I say definitely like I said, Stidham, because I know Stidham's been a conduit for me, like to knowing a lot of people and everything and stuff like that. And just remember, us just being in the dorms and not, knowing what was gonna happen and stuff like that. And we, it's gonna be cool, but like, yeah, just us just being in the dorms and running the same circles, knowing the same people, and we just got cool. Like, so it was just like it just led to stuff like I saw, spark.
Yeah,
It's
no
just
doubt,
yeah. So
man.
I'll just say like yeah, just the
Just
whole
for me,
collective,
man,
and yeah,
as
it
always,
was
man,
that was
shout
a
out
time had, and yeah, I'm just
to
really
y'all
grateful
too,
for it. So
because y'all my brothers. I
sorry to
love
be long winded.
y'all, man.
Oh no.
Thank y'all for wanting to do this podcast, do songs together and all that other stuff. Just um and shout out to my nephew Kyle who graduated from eighth grade. So congratulations to him, man. And I can't wait to see what he does in high school and college and all that other stuff, man. And to the audience, man, I know I've been slacking on these episodes, but we are officially
That's
back
what's up.
now, so you're gonna get some more episodes. And until next time, y'all. Oh, also stream by my phone Misfitz Music. Stream by Itsphyre Music. Stream by LoFi Collective stuff, LoFi Kelvy stuff, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Let's go.
Peace.
Peace.